Hello, everybody. It's Jill Robinson of I'm Here with Magazine, and we have a special guest today, a local celebrity in our midst, Sherry Severs. We have her in the newest issue, you guys, as a rising star in Alberta's art scene. And not only because she is starring in her own project coming up, but with how she treats people, and she's a real life former firefighter, you guys. So we have a lot to talk to Sherry today about. So many things I want to ask her about who she is, what she's doing right now with her career, what she felt about the fires that just happened in Los Angeles, how she's going down to LA for a really cool Oscars gala screening party hosted by Samira's network. She's presenting an award on stage to so many people in Los Angeles's network. So she'll be super famous by the time she comes back in March, you guys. When this
Nah.
when this airs, this episode with Sherry, um, it will be before she goes to Los Angeles for the viewing party for the Oscars. But when she gets back, we really hope to do an interview with you again to ask how it went and who you met. Like, there are some huge names, okay,
Mhm.
going to this event. I am so sad I'm not going. I was going
Mm.
to, but I'm not going to. I'm here, guys, locally helping everybody instead. But Sherry is so much fun to be had in the industry, and welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jill, for having me. It's exciting.
You're everywhere these days, and I was getting so jealous and felt like, no, she needs to be in my magazine too, because our network wants to hear about you. Just kidding about the jealousy. I was so happy to see that you're everywhere, and I think that you going down to LA and trying to make a good name for Canada and Calgary is pretty cool. That's been
Mhm.
Sherry's motivation recently. She's actually collected and inspired a lot of people to come down with her. So Samira loves you. Oh my gosh, you're like the best marketing gal ever.
Aw, I love her too. She's so sweet.
She's so sweet. She's had a lot of experience in the industry, like I think
Mhm.
over 30 years, I think. Um,
Wow.
and she's somebody that hosts extremely huge events. Like it's almost like,
Insane. It's
our
crazy
Rose
how big it
Awards
is.
where there's like hundreds of people. There's
There's
tons of
1,000 people
people.
at this event that's
People
sitting
that
down to eat.
yeah, it's a high-end gala to celebrate the Oscars
Mhm.
for LA and her certain network of celebrity, rising, and independent, I think. And I
Mhm.
think what she does is really great. And for her to choose you to be presenting a special award, which we can't wait to share with the audience after you come back.
After
That is, who knows what that could be? Oh my gosh. Who
March
knows?
2nd.
You're listening to the interview, you might kind of clue into the topic of it, but um, you have been recently everywhere in Calgary. You do acting classes with Chad Rook, woo, who's on our cover right now, you guys, in Calgary,
Mhm.
Alberta.
I
And
did 3 of his classes.
yeah, I can't believe like while you're in LA, I do believe we will have copies in LA of our
Wow.
magazine at the Beverly
Oh,
Hills News Shop. So if you could do a picture for us with your page there,
I
we
would
would just die. Oh my
I'll
gosh.
bring all my magazines with me.
Oh look, she's got too many. Oh my, why does she have so many? Oh my God.
I got 3.
Well, and you'll be getting a lot more too.
That's my one, not that one in
Oh my
LA.
gosh, yes. The Hollywood Elite magazine.
Hmm.
Yeah, me and Samira kind of do the same thing, but the way she does it is way, she's doing it LA girl. She's doing it good.
LA style.
Yeah. But she's someone I look up to for sure. So anyways, her magazine's also at the Beverly Hills newsstand too, I think, yeah. So
Mhm.
isn't that cool that like people like us who are just doing our own thing in Canada are starting to really make an influence and be like, hey, we're here quietly, but
I've
not
been
so.
working under the radar trying to hide.
So tell us about your traveling down to the award show. What made you want to go? invest in that, put your time to it, get other people to come with you. Like you might make quite a noise on the carpet there.
Mhm.
Or can't
My
you?
goal is to make noise on the carpet.
Well, let's hear the reason
There's
you.
going to be seven of us that I'm bringing as a group that we're kind of all sticking together, and we're the Canadians are invading the red carpet.
Are
That's
we
what I told
invading or
Samira.
no? We're
And
kind
then I'm
of
hoping to run
influenced.
into other Canadians while I'm down there. And that'll just make it much better. And I'm trying to really promote Calgary. Like I'm talking to a lot of filmmakers about coming up here because we've got the best filming location in the world. The only thing we're missing is the ocean. So trying to convince people that, our dollar for me going down there sucks, but for them coming up here is amazing. And then the tax credit, like I'm trying to really convince them to come up here. And the fact that, what's happened in LA is really hard. And they've lost a lot of filming locations.
So you were a firefighter before you started being
Yes.
an actress.
Yes.
What the heck was that like? Oh my gosh,
Hard,
you're alive.
dirty, hard.
Um,
Saw lots of stuff.
I'm huge into the show Fire Country. Okay, I bother some of the actors on there and share what they're up to.
I
Um,
would love to audition for that.
you did like that in real life. So
Yes.
wow, being a female in
It
firefighting.
was
That was
very interesting because I actually was able to sneak in a little. I figured out it's a male dominated industry, 100%. I grew up on a farm. I was physically strong back then. And every summer there was always massive fires across Canada. So I went on my first fire and I realized that it was difficult to get in, but I was pretty smart and I realized that the one thing they need to keep a crew working on a fire is if you have industrial first aid, they need you. They can't run without an industrial first aid attendant. So I went and I held an industrial first aid ticket every year. I made sure I had the top level. And then I would go on to a fire and say, well, I have this ticket. Even though I'm a girl, guess what? I have this. So they would get me in and then I would work. And then over the time, they realized how hard I worked. And then I would just keep working up. And I end up, I started the back end of a fire. And then as I got more experience, I'd end up on the front line. So I had my own crew and we were able to tackle the front of the fire. And that was always interesting. But also, when you're tackling the front of the fire, you're now at risk of being trapped, which I have been trapped in a fire for 30 minutes under a bulldozer. And that was very terrifying. One day I'd like to make
write
a
a
film,
book.
something about it. Hmm?
Maybe write a book about your experience.
Yep. Because the whole time I'm laying there, I was worried I'd burn my legs or lose my hair. But the other thing is that people don't realize in a fire is you can't breathe. There's
Yeah.
no oxygen because the fire takes all the oxygen. So I'm actually digging my face into the dirt, trying to get in the dirt and breathing in. I had a scarf, but that was all, like trying to breathe through the dirt to get oxygen.
Survival. I can't imagine putting yourself at risk for a job. Oh my gosh. But what made compelled you to want to do that? Is it-
It was also the helping the people because in the first aid, if somebody was hurt, I was the first one that was called. And because I was trained to help someone, if they got a head injury or they broke their leg or an arm or a bee sting or whatever, I was trained for that. And I just knew what to do. And it made, I don't know, it just gave me a sense of something to do. And I felt I would give my best care that I could all the time. And that was on the fires. And then I also, after many years, I ended up on a volunteer department. And when I joined the volunteer department, they knew that I had all my fire experience. So I knew grass fires, brush fires, bush. And actually, how they found me is in the small community my parents lived in, there was a fire that I spotted and I could smell it. So I quickly ran over and I could see that they weren't doing it right. And it was on a hill and it was a grass fire and there was a house at the top. And I was really scared the house was going to burn down.
Ooh.
And I was seeing the firefighters and they weren't in the right places and they weren't doing the right job. So I started delegating, just an automatic thing. I just like, oh, you go over here, you do this and you do this. And then
How
we
did
were
you
able
do
to
it to
get it
be
under
honest?
control. It and when there's things happening, guys don't they didn't question me. They could see that I knew what I was talking about. And when we say the house did not burn, we got it under control. And then at the end, when I finished, the chief came up to me, goes, "Who are you? And how did you do that?" And I went, "Oh," and I mentioned who I was, and he goes, "I know you." And I went, "Oh." And he goes, "I know your experience in the bush." And I said, "I would like you to join my department." And I was like, "Wow."
Wow, you
And
got
he's like, and he said, "You teach
oh,
us how to do grass, how to do what you just did, and I'll teach you buildings." And I said, "Perfect." And then I said, "I have my industrial first aid, but I'd like to upgrade because I've never, with the industrial first aid, you're on work sites where it's all adults, but a first responder is also children. And I didn't have experience with children and I wanted to know how to help them too." So in the end, I ended up being a first responder as well as industrial first aider. And I learned buildings and I did a lot of MBAs. And after 2 years on the department, I became a captain. So I had my own crew that for 1 week a month, I ran the crew whenever the call was. And when you're just a firefighter, you have a pager, but when you're a captain, you have a radio. And so that means when the phone call is 911 in my area, I'm answering it. I'm the one that's answering those calls. And then I'm also directing my crew during any kind of medical call, MVA, or whatever. We had a lot of MVAs, medical motor vehicle accidents. That was actually one of our outside of medical fires. We'd have some, but not too many. But that was because we were on a busy highway. And then we also had a massive flood that we had to evacuate the town.
where was that exactly?
It was just outside of Smithers, a place
Oh,
called Telquin.
no idea. Very cool.
It's in BC.
How did you get to Calgary?
Well, there's a route for that. A little bit of a gypsy. I kind of wandered around, followed a guy,
Oh,
really
okay.
handsome
Grew
guy,
up
and
here. Very good.
then that kind of not so good. But I ended up moving a year and a half ago to here, to Calgary, from Edmonton, and before that, I was in the Northwest Territories.
Oh, so you must
And
know Brandon, Brandon and
Linus.
yeah, that
I'm in one of his films. I'm Haunted 3, which is on YouTube. I
okay.
played Ello in Glass.
Yeah, I think I've known of you actually from out there. I was a part of a few things for promoting with them and Edmonton up there. Like they've got a really cool and uh something Mr. Keebs as well and Sean Reed, I think, or maybe I'm saying these names.
I'm Tim McCourt,
Okay.
Brandon Reines. I'm currently working with Avi. Oh, I can't say his last name. I forgot his last name. But I'm currently doing a bunch of work with Avi Chandra. And I also work with Sujit Vigneshwar on my feature film from there. I
Oh,
actually get called to Edmonton a lot.
it's quite the drive up there. Hey, oh my
I
goodness.
like it.
Sure.
As long as the roads are good, it's good. It's fine. It's only 3 hours.
Oh, every time I've ever driven to Edmonton, I think I've been fending for my life. Yeah, rainstorms in the dark. Yeah.
Crazy
Anyway,
drivers.
Edmonton's wonderful. You guys don't worry. But yes, let's get more into the newest project that you have been super excited to promote here. Um,
Mhm.
coming hasn't been come out yet, but you're the main star of it all.
I'm lead
What does that feel
actress.
like to be like the lead and not just background or producing? Like
It
such,
was a lot of work.
yeah, you have to carry a project, right?
I'm still carrying it because as well as lead, I'm the executive producer. So
Okay.
I've been from beginning and until forever now.
Yeah. So how did Echo come about? Like
Me
who
as Echo.
what's
So Sujith, I did a commercial with Sujith, and then 2 weeks after we did the commercial for a realtor, he reached out to me, he sent an email, and in the email was this one-page story. And he asked me about the he asked me if I would want to work on this project. And I read the story. And when I was reading the story about Wendy, I was like, holy cow. He, I felt like he put me on the page. And when I read it, I was like, I could play her. I could absolutely play Wendy, no problem. She's just a little different than me, but very similar background outside of the abuse. But she's submissive. I'm not. But just her whole going through a hard time and then coming out in the end positive is
Mhm.
very much me. And after I played it, it was we're in post-production now. We just have to do some more pickup shots. We have an editor that's worked with Guy Ritchie. I'm so thankful. Right now we're looking for funding. We've made the film, but now we made it with no money but we have to get money now to pay the editor and to get it into distribution.
Well, I'm sure you
That's our
will
big
too. We're gonna shout it to the rooftops for people to come support.
thing. I have a pitch deck and some videos.
There you go. That's the
We're
beginning.
looking for investors.
And you have it already shot already, so that's one thing too.
Most of it. We just have to go back for just a few pickup shots and we're done.
Cool. Well, I wish you luck on that, and we'll be behind you guys promoting it when it does come out and all of
We're
that.
gonna have it. We're gonna have it in Edmonton and Calgary. We're gonna have some theaters, some filming in the theaters for sure.
Yeah, cool screening, and I'm sure everybody in the town will come out. So
Hmm.
let's talk more about what we were chatting about when we first met, was empowering each other in the industry, truly supporting each other and kind of what that looks like. And helping people who are new as well come in and trying to
I
guide them.
love helping people.
Yeah, like I've been in,
Even today, I had a phone call. I was helping someone navigate some situations, and I'm like, some people like some people in the film industry keep all of their information to themselves. I don't believe in doing that. If I've learned something, I want to help. I want to share my knowledge as much as I can because we're all going to benefit. The art community, the filming community is only so big here. And I believe in helping everybody as much as I can. If I know something that you don't know, I'm going to share it. If you know something, then help me. If I believe in this give and take for sure.
everyone's like that. So let's
Mhm.
let people know that's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well as like what are the struggles in your career to like be a part of things and try to make your projects happen and really the the way of just like continuing to love your craft and never giving up and every day trying to do something that will lead to the next. Where are you at with all of that, with how you handle being in the industry and finding our own jobs and all of that?
Well, being non-union and no agent, it's a lot harder than most people think. It's actually probably the hardest thing I could do. But when I'm on set or when I'm working on any project, I see all the little details, but then I see the overall. And I'm super artistic, and my brain likes art, and it likes difficult things sometimes. And there's this little itch in my brain that when I'm working on projects, it kind of scratches it and it makes me feel great. And I started a couple years ago, and you know, I finally found, I always said in my life, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Well, when I got into the film industry, I know what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to keep working on films. I love acting and I love producing. I love just, and as a producer, you're fixing things. You're always fixing, there's always something to fix. So and every day is never the same. There's always something different. And that's just so, how many people can say that about their job?
No, not many. And have fun and party.
And I
Have
get to dress up and I get to play different characters. Like, how crazy is that?
it is
I love
pretty cool. What
playing
would you
different characters.
say?
I'm trying to get more action roles.
Okay, action roles. What would you say to parents for like their kids about getting into the industry? Like, there's a lot of LA is
Oh,
different than Canada, I'll tell you that, and what goes on.
it's hard. It's very hard to get in. And for children is a whole different ball game. I'm not familiar with that because I have some friends that have kids and they're just trying to navigate that, the complexity of, being children and then being in social media, like there's that complex situation that
Yeah,
I'm
are they
glad I'm not in that.
like I think the issues in life and what we dream about happening and achieving or leaving our legacy is very different than people who are just not within the arts life and don't do anything with promoting themselves. Like I see people when I tell people I have a magazine or what I do and they just can't conceive like what is it you do? Oh, so is it like you made it or oh good for you. Like they
Mhm.
don't care as much as the people who we surround ourselves with who are in the arts. There's
Mhm.
quite a lot of jealousy though, people not being happy for each other or supporting. I would like to see more support within the community
And
altogether.
and I have my philosophy is very different because everybody's like they're always like chasing this dream. They're always chasing the next big thing. And I'm sitting there going, no, you're living your dream right now. This is the dream. Every day you're doing this is the dream. There's no point in chasing something because there isn't enough. I've seen interviews with other big actors. There is no top. This is it. Every time you're on set, that's it. Every time you're in camera, that's where it is. And you have to enjoy those moments.
And be proud of what you've built and that it's your name and not to
Hmm.
that's a big one
No,
for artists too.
I am me. I can't compare to anybody else.
Um, so other things that we want to chat about today are being a woman in the industry and being
Mhm.
of age. Uh, that's something, every woman goes through once we hit our 30s and up. We think, oh no, what's going to be our career and all the things and the things that people say about it. But I like to say that like where I'm at in my age as well, I'm better than I've ever been. I'm happier. I know
In
myself.
2 years, I hit 60.
Yeah, like what do you feel about being a woman in film, let's talk about that.
I'm not competing with all the 20-year-olds.
You don't look 60 at all, hon. Wow, your
No,
skin.
I'm 58, but I'm like 2 years off of it. And
Mm.
but I also look after myself. I do exercise. I try to eat well. I take care of myself, and that's really important for my own personal. It has nothing to do with film or anything. But it's so important that being a female and my age actually comes into play because I like to support other women and other people in the industry because I see how hard it is. And especially women, it's a film industry is male dominated industry. Same as firefighting, like everywhere I've been, it's always male dominated. And I've just learned that I know how to navigate that system and I love supporting women very much because women don't support women enough. And I will never trash women because that's just not who I am. It's like I support you. I've got a lot of friends that people are starting to realize that I do support everybody, but especially women. And I
Everyone's gonna
love
meet
seeing
you
women
last
grow,
week.
grow and show and glow.
Yeah. You do.
Mhm,
Whenever I see you promoting stuff, like you're actively like loving to promote who they are and share about a little bit about them in your posts. I like that. So
mhm.
yeah, you've been somebody that's a positive light in the industry that's just
Hmm.
kind of loving to do her career, isn't really trying to do anything weird or get too famous or be like weird about it. You know, you're just going with what's natural for you. And I really like that. And that if other people are watching you, they'll say and see that like it will happen for you when it's your time. You
Hmm.
know, when you work with good people that help put you up
The
with a good.
last couple months I've got into manifestation.
Oh yes, what are we manifesting?
I don't want to say.
Oh no, love. Oh, you guys. Yeah. That's
I'm hoping that one
maybe
day
we'll meet somebody in LA. Oh my, that'd be even better than being in Canada, and you can go there and enjoy it. So, what are you wearing to the gala on the 2nd of March?
it's a beautiful black dress. It's kind of a Tiffany, an Audrey Hepburn style.
Really?
Um, I don't want to give it away, but there's a beautiful wrap that goes with it, and it's long and it looks amazing on me. And I'll be wearing a lot of rhinestones.
My gosh, I do some jewelry. I should give you something to wear, maybe like a
Ooh,
beautiful bracelet.
ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
I'll show you something after the interview.
That would be great.
As well, the audience would love to know that you're going to be bringing the magazine there and doing
I'm
some.
bringing all three of my magazines with
What?
me.
You'll have more before you go. Don't worry.
Oh,
Of course.
oh no, I extra carry on.
Well, yeah, don't bring too many. It
I
is.
want my pictures with the magazines down there and
Yes,
trying
that's
many
what I'm
people.
talking about. That's so cool. And then people on the carpet will be like, "Who's this? What's this magazine?
Hmm.
This is
And
mine."
one of my cast members off of Leah's Echo is coming down too. He played the elder,
Okay.
Len J. Phillips, and he's coming down. And then Emma and Zula and Jonathan Lapine. I got a group of people that are coming.
Oh, I can't believe you. You're so fun to bring everybody. I love that.
And my table's almost full. I'm so excited.
All right. Well, there's one table. There's a few seats left. Maybe somebody by the time we post this
I
will.
got two more seats left at my table, and then it's full. And mine is up near the front too. So I'm like,
I'd be there with you guys if I could.
you're with me in spirit.
Yes, literally, you're bringing the magazine with you, so you are bringing me. So I appreciate
And
that.
people will be seeing my
All
posts too.
Africa.
So
Yeah.
people see my posts, so they'll follow me.
Yes, a lot. You get a lot of engagement, and people really like you. So we're so
I'm
excited.
surprised at that.
Yeah, is that surprising when you start to get kind of out there? You're like, oh, people are caring now. Oh my gosh,
I get a lot of replies. Like, oh, wow. I love it. I do.
we're so glad that you're in the magazine with us, and you're going to
Mm.
be. So you're in 3 editions of the
Wow.
16th issue with different cover star types of people to keep things interesting. She's in health and wellness, but you're in every issue, guys. You can
Did you
see.
see who you
Oh,
did you see who I'm with in yours in the last ones?
yeah, I
Who's
know.
on opposite of the page?
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm
When
like,
I
oh
was
my God.
building that page, I wasn't sure what to do, and had something else actually there. And then I thought, like, well, they gave it to me to use, and I thought, yeah, I love Tom. Let's put
I
him
was
in.
like, wow. I was like, holy cow.
That's what we love about this magazine is that we integrate the celebrity with the local celebrity. We love it, putting you guys up with them. But that's what's up is the way we do our magazine is actually like the seasons of
Mhm,
who's doing what's coming out. So we're all about timing it right with our local
mhm.
stuff. Thank you so much, Sherry, for having us. Guys, follow Sherry Severs on social media,
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, all the good places. And we can't wait to see you in Echo and you on the red
Leah's
carpet
Echo.
and everything. So, guys, make sure you follow her, okay? Thank you so much, guys. We
Bye.
hope you learned something today as well from Sherry.